Okay, here we go. It's the second part of the game I reviewed earlier. And this guy played Rein in high plat. Now he went over to Orisa. Seems like he's going to play Orisa for this defense. Orisa being a defensive tank more than Reinhardt. Also a very good spot in the meta right now. Should be very good in defense. And also works good with Sigma. You can combo Halt with his ult, with his rock, with a lot of other stuff, with your other teammates as well. Dynamite from Ash, just Junkrat shooting normally. Tire, pull them away from corners when Baptiste is using ult. You can combo it with Boop if there's a booping map. There's a lot of stuff you can combo your ult with, even in this comp, though this comp is not the best probably. I would rather have a Mei and a McCree, or maybe a Reaper and a McCree. I would have a McCree though, because it's good against both Reaper and Mei, which are strong right now. And it can counter a Pharah, which is needed on PlayStation most of the time. Console, that being. You don't need to have that hit scan on PC, because it's very few times that you will ever see the Pharah. And if you see the Pharah, you can counter it with just something like Mei or Sigma, because it's so, or Orisa. It's Baptiste, of course, also being really good against Pharah. But it's so few times that you run Pharah on PC that you don't need to have that hit scan for her. You should rather have some long range damage. That's good to have, but you have Junkrat there, and with this comp there's so much sustainability with tanks, 2 shields, Baptiste, immortality field. The weakest part of the comp is probably the Lucio. The speed boost is useless. Ashes could also be swapped out of the McCree, of course, as I already said, but Lucio is probably the biggest problem of this comp right now. No big problems there, but you should probably have a Sen instead. That is going to be much better than the speed boost. You also have a Mercy here on defense, of course, but then you would lack a defensive ult, and I doubt that in low ranks it's hard to use the immortality field as a defensive ult, defensive ability rather, to counterplay other ults like a Blade or a Death Blossom Mei or something like that, or Sigma ult, because people in low ranks tends to just use the immortality field whenever they have it against just normal cooldowns, or when they are below half HP, and when they use it, they also tend to set it in places where it's very easy to take it out. So I would not be confident that the Baptiste immortality field will be enough to counter bigger ults. You should have a defensive ult in lower ranks. So your defense, like, your comp is okay, but McCree is always good, and maybe a Mei Reaper instead of the Junkrat. That require more team play, of course. So if you aren't too coordinated, the Junkrat this is good. Set up the shield. You always want to set up a shield, especially on defense, because it's very likely that the enemy will have a Widow. The enemy usually have a Widow on the start of a map, actually. Just the first seconds to see if they can get a pick. You always need to be prepared for that. It's less punishing to have a Widow on attack than defense, even though Widow was a defense hero some time ago. That's being because, of course, you can just swap as fast as you want when you're on attack. Spawn is right next to you. It doesn't hurt to like waste 5 seconds going for a couple of picks. If you do it, you can win an easy fight. It's totally worth it going Widow in the start of the fight, and you should be prepared for the attackers doing that. Always have your shield out there in places where you're... Like, of course, you wouldn't have been killed yourself right there. But you see, there's teammates there. There we go. Right next to you. There's Ash. Yes. She probably believed you. She probably thought that you were going to set out your shield, and you should have set out your shield there for Ash. Or just not been there in the first place. You won't really get in charge on that. You're just saying to the enemy, "Hi, I'm Orisa. Be prepared for it." And always try to reveal yourself as little as possible. This bot is not terrible, but I don't like it a lot, because it's very easy for the enemy to shoot at you from multiple angles. They can flank you easy. You're not protecting the right side too much here, and it's very easy to break the shield fast. And of course, you can fall back, but I would rather like you to take the high ground more to the right here, where you usually stand. I assume that you were going to fall back to that position, but you saw a Genji and a Widow here, and you thought like, oh, I can participate in the fights, try take them out, and yes, that's fine, but you should not stand here as Orisa. You should just fall back, You're stable. Set up a defense. Yes, your Junkrat died. If you would have stand further back, the Junkrat might not be in there. They have more shields than you. You need to... Of course, you can recharge your shield faster. Since they are run out and you have Sigma. That shouldn't be around the same, actually, now that after the nerfs. Fall back here, please. You lost one. You have just a Junkrat. That's the primary source of damage. Ashe could do a lot of damage to heroes, but not to shields. Since the headshot system is doing most of the damage. Well, there you should have halted them. There's Lucio and Genji. You see the Sigma, he's fleeing from them. He's probably already used his abilities, but you can halt these two guys. Just halt right down on the ground, and the halt will activate once it hits the ground. You don't even need to look where it is or activate it. You just need to shoot it right on the ground, and it will activate once it hits an object. Just halt right down on the ground or in the roof here, and they will be dragged to you. Sigma can almost one-shot anything with one-shot combo, at least if you have his rock. You two should easily beat those two in the 2v2. They don't have too much support from their teammates. You see there's a rock coming up, coming up here. Oh, just wait a second. Okay, I'm back. What? It's my mom calling me. Yes, back. 2v2, when there are two tanks against a healer and a DPS, you will almost always win. Of course, if you, at least if you are Orisa and Sigma, two of the strongest tanks in the game now, two of the strongest heroes in the game right now. They are really, really strong. They have the most powerful cooldowns in the entire game. Halt, Rock, Sigma can suck damage and like absorb the damage, and both have good shields. Fortify, really good. You have good cooldowns. You can easily beat them in a 2v2. You should take this duel right now. Halt them to you, surprise them. You are fleeing right now, but you can easily take this fight with them. You don't need to be afraid of them. Stupid. But yes, fallback, that's good. Call out to your teammates. No, we need to go to the choke. To say that. I'm going back to the choke. Come with me. The Sigma could also be doing something smart here. He could walk up here and hit the rein in the back with a rock, but it's usually not worth it. I would rather just want him to stand here, because if they push hard on you, Sigma will probably be dead right after he hits the rock, because then he needs to go back and they can just roll it and take him out. Rather just stand here if he wants to drop down, or if Sigma wants to go around, they can just have control over where you are standing now, because they will, of course, be able to make you fall back when you're alone here. Good with the Lucio, but Orisa Lucio won't be able to beat 6 people. You lost most of your damage anyway, so there's no way you will win this brawl. Remember, you lost your... Yep, Sigma is dead. That's what I said. He will die fast. You should have called him to group up with you. He probably says, like, where is the healing or something like that, but he wasn't falling back, and he should have been where you are now. Actually, he should be further back, and so should you. And you should not be popping your Fortify. You still have armor HP, and should rather be focusing on using the Fortify when you really need it. That is when you have lost all of your armor. But you should also already have fallback much more. Now you have lost your tank as well, of course. You haven't reacted to that yet, since I stopped like half a second after he died. But Junkrat was already dead, and you should have falled back here. Ask Lucy to speed boost you out. Use the speed boost for what it's worth. Yes, fallback. Yeah, you took like 10 damage from an orb while you had that Fortify. It was a completely useless Fortify. Fall back more. Okay, here just don't push out. Don't even help your shield. If they don't kill you here, they are trash, yes. You should have just died quicker there, and you pressing your Fortify, that just got them more ult charge. Damage resistance does not make the enemy team gain any less ult charge, it just makes it so it acts like you have more HP and more ult charge. Same with the Road Dog healing.
I'm still new at this. Overtime.
Oh, this is second defense, it looks like, since they are already in overtime. Yes, it is. They have 3 points, so this is second defense. You didn't have to hold too long there. Of course, always try to die on cart or just die as quick as possible. But you need to focus more on cooperating with your team. I wanted to focus more on combos in this game, but since you aren't even playing together with your tanks, that's very hard. You can't cooperate with your teammates if you aren't even at the same part of the map. That's not possible. You need to be more together with your team if your team is not. Like, of course, this is not always possible. I'm not saying this is your fault, but try and figure something out when stuff like this happens. And it's low rank. I know it can be hard. If you do queuing, it's much easier to have two people saying, "Oh, we should group up now. Let's go together and combo ults." That's much easier when you are two people agreeing that is a good idea, and it is a good idea. Everyone knows that, of course, but it's not everyone who accepts it when someone random is telling, unless it's multiple people saying so. Stalling this right here, there's no reason to do so. It's not like it's death or anything bad happens if they get this point. Getting a point in overtime is just like getting another meter, and it's not like you don't need to push here. It's overtime. It's like the second round, they already have 3 points. That means they won't really get any time every checkpoint they get, but you need to just push them off the payload in a wipe, in a total team kill, total wipe, and that's important to group up and get your ultimates and focus on what you're going to do against them. You swap over to Winston. That's not a good. It looks like a Winston. I think it's a Winston. You should not swap over to a Winston. You should have a Sigma here. Sigma is great for clearing the payload. Not only can it make people C9 actually, but pulling all of the enemies off the payload, but he can also separate them. He can set up great kills. He does a lot of damage. There's many great stuff that just one single ult can do. If you pull them together, you can double the value of that. You can double the value of one of the best ults in the game already. So that's great, and you will probably win every single fight. You combo halt and Sigma halt, and if then you after that as well, just make your Doomfist go in. They have already used all of their cooldowns when they have dropped to the ground, so Doomfist will have no problem cleaning up everything. As I say, you have Doomfist. That can work great with orisa and Sigma. Also ult and then use Doomfist ult. That will also wipe them off the payload pretty quick. And Doomfist being good against people attacking on the payload, of course. You should also try and save all the ults there, call out that, save ults. There's no reason for you to push. I see your team is pushing, but you aren't going to win this. You already lost people.
Hit.
This guy is calling out for heal. But you don't even...
Hit.
Well... if you're winning this, that's stupid. They shouldn't... Oh my god. This is not supposed to happen. You aren't supposed to win this fight. You have already lost people and they have a respawn, and you should just regroup really. Even though you win this fight, that would be a mistake. You should let them get the checkpoint and rather group up together. Nice block. You reacted with both Fortify and Shield. Yes, you did both stuff. That's great. Shield, of course, it's hard to, even though you reacted, it can be very hard to use that reaction time against the shield. Against the shadow, rather, sorry, to block it, since it takes some time before the shield drops, but use the Fortify as well. That's great. You should probably rather place the shield on your teammates so that Tracer have a harder time cleaning up, but that's straight up reaction, and it's good. If you look straight down, you might actually be able to block the shatter sometime as well. Really good reaction. That's the second time I see you block a shatter. Really, really nice. You just need to be more careful and block for your teammates as well. Try and like you can read the rein is going to use shatter a couple of seconds before he uses it. But you should always think of when he has it as well. Try and be aware and where you're going to set your shield and where you're going to stand to try and block the shadow for as many people as possible. You are the tank, you're supposed to protect your team. Again, call out your holds, try and hold them together, maybe a bit off the payload, so they had to use cooldowns to get back on it. Again, I don't think this is winnable. That's a better shield, much better. But there's a tracer. You can hear where she's shooting. She's shooting on your right. There's a Baptiste standing there. You even probably see it. Right? Yep, they're right there. Help the Baptiste with this tracer. Oh, you see? Oh, there's a tracer. I can help him. Yeah. Now just stop shooting. She will probably go back to him. She's still shooting on your right. I don't know if she's shooting on you or the Baptiste, but yes, she's still shooting on your right. Watch out for the tracer. I know it's hard to hit the tracer, but try and hold her, try and say to your teammates, let's focus the tracer. Because if tracer gets a kill on one of your supports, that's really bad. And the tracer is actually going for your supports right now, so you need to help your supports. You can even fall back to the Baptiste and set a shield up on him, so he can shield dance a bit. Tracer is behind you still. It's not like you will do any meaningful damage to the rein anyways. As orisa. If you are a rein, I would totally understand that you went on the other rein, but you're not going to win the rein battle in rein versus orisa in a team fight like this. Well, you can, of course, but there's going to be healing and stuff, so you should rather just stand and try and protect your teammates and set up your teammates for big plays. That's your halt, and that's your shield, your positioning. Try and stand more with your teammates that needs to be protected. Try and listen and be more aware of where your team sets, and call out your halts. I don't see that you're speaking when you're using halts. It's not bad halts, but you need to be interactive with your teammate with that. You can combo lots of stuff with the halt. You had Winston here not being too good, but Doomfist. It's an easy combo with halt. Try and set out to Doomfist and make him, after you have halted, try and make Doomfist Hansek slam in and hit everyone. As I see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 people here. You have 1, 2, 3. Like, I would not use all ults here. Well, you had 4, but I would not use all ults here to not maybe lose this fight. If you lose this fight, you have nothing. I think you ended up losing this game. I think you said that to me. And that's because you used all ults here. You could have saved all the ults here. There's no reason for you to try and touch here. There will still be much more overtime where you can... Like, that was just 3 other meters. Why were those 3 meters so important for you? Those 3 meters are not more important than any other 3 meters in overtime when they already have won its second round. You see, it's still overtime. When they got the point, they didn't get any time at all. So those 3 meters, they were just ordinary 3 meters. Maybe you didn't know that, but now you know. And don't do that mistake again. Try and save your abilities. Rein is also good, and it looks like you want to take the Rein battle more. Playing Rein and orisa can work out well, both of them. You need a clean wipe here. Save up ults. Try and get long team fights so you get your ults, and then don't stagger. Push in as a team. Stand on corners. It will make the team fights much longer and much more favorable for you. Ah, they have Bastion. Okay, but like right here, your Winston pushed in. If you die right after him, you will give them the other team some ult charge, but it's not like it will lose you the game or anything. It's better to just go in with him. You can charge the Rein here, actually. You can charge the Rein. You see Bastion is already on something else, your soldier actually got a kill. You should charge the Rein here. Going in now instead is total waste. The fight should not be winnable now. You should went in earlier, and now you can fall back. You used your Baptiste ult. You heard that. Try and go back and fire strike through that thing. You will do enough damage to finish people that are 200 HP. Like, what are you doing here? Okay, that's a nice charge, but like, what here? Right here, sorry. What are you waiting for? What? Like, you need to engage faster. And it's good that you shouldn't be fallbacking here. They have no healing, really. They lost their Moira. What are you waiting for? Push them. They have no healing. Like, they use that, but you should fall back first now, and not earlier. You should push them while their Moira is dead. And here you need to be... You should be aware that the Baptiste is behind you. He uses ult, he's healed you, and everything. The Genji dashed behind you. Why would he do that? Maybe to hit you? Oh, he doesn't hit you. What is he hitting then? He's hitting your Baptiste, of course. So help your Baptiste swing on the Genji. They don't have any powerful burst damage here. They have the fire strike, but that will go through your shield anyways. Swing the Genji. Swing. Swing on the Genji. Help the Baptiste. Okay, that was a bit late. You killed him, but if your Hog wasn't there to save your Baptiste, that Genji probably would have killed your Baptiste, and they would have lost the fight no matter what. But they don't have a Moira, and they don't have a Genji. You should push. You should not even use the... Well, the Moira is back actually, because it took so much time. You like, the charge there was maybe a bit too much. Again, you should try and take the Rein duel, otherwise don't charge when the other Rein hasn't used charge. Try and be on the Rein. Track ults more, of course, but something like that can always happen. Just try to play with the other Rein. It's kind of like a battle between you. Nice chatter. It's good, but you need to be more aware of where your teammates are. And you need to be taking the duel with the other Rein even more. And there's two major factors that will change your positioning. That's the other team and your team. And of course, there's some positions that are good that you should always swap between and keep in mind of. And you are swapping between those spots, and you're standing in okay spots, but you should watch more for where your teammates are and where the other team, especially the Rein, if they're running Rein. And because the Rein wants to shatter your team and he wants to charge your team, you should counterplay the charge with another charge. If you charge it into wall, charge him right after. If he has shatter, try and block it. Don't use fire strike then. And try and shatter when he drops his shield when it gets destroyed, or when he's using fire strike, stuff like that. And you can only do stuff like that if you're playing at the same place as the Rein. So play more closer to the enemy Rein when you are Rein. It's a decent defense, but you would probably... You could have won a bit early maybe if you didn't use all the fights, all the ults, sorry, the fight before. Again, you won a fight there you shouldn't have won. They should have much more ultimates than you had. But you won, and that's fine. It was an okay and fair fight. You got good picks, you got a Moira, that was good. You should have pushed more when they had a Moira. You got them 10 meters there. There was no reason for you to give those 10 meters.
Hello?
I guess your team wants to go the same. Ashe, Junkrat, and that is Lucio, Rein, maybe Winston, maybe Sigma. Zarya, maybe. This guy has been playing a lot of different tanks, and he's decent. He should not be going Winston when he's expecting a Bastion though. Mercy says double shield. That's probably a better idea. But I would not want the... Well, I don't know if I would like a Fire Mercy or not together with a Bastion. It's okay actually. But I would want the Orisa here instead of the Winston. And maybe a Sigma instead of the Rein. Maybe Orisa.
Maybe
Rein
they
is
have
also
Widow or Genji.
Okay.
Rein and Orisa would be very good.
If
Or Rein
Bastion
Sigma.
doesn't work, we
Rein
have to
Sigma is
switch off
probably
fast.
maybe the best comp with the Bastion.
Okay, but Bastion can't do anything good if they have to.
I've got Moira and Ash.
One.
Okay, they got Moira and Ashe. That's good call outs. They have Moira. That means they probably have a comp which plays close. But they have Ashe. That doesn't really work together with the Moira, so that's good news for you. You can try and push the Ashe, and it will be hard for Moira to heal her if Ashe is standing far off. So the Winston can be useful. Winston should try and get the Ashe, and that also means they have done good damage against the Bastion. It's being Ashe. The Dynamite will do huge damage, and Bob, of course, can do also stuff, but Bastion will have no big problems against that. Ashe can do some damage far off, but I would rather have a Hans or something against the Bastion. So it's not terrible. Bastion will be good. He swapped Soldier, so you don't have any Bastion.
Okay, so I decided.
And Doomfist instead of Pharah. Okay, that's fine. You don't really need Mercy here anymore, though. You should probably have something more brawling instead, but he already picked Mercy, so that's fine. Okay, but what's to do here? More strategy, more macro strategy. You have a Winston. He should push the Ashe. I think he's doing so, actually. You should be playing passive when you don't have the other tank. You should be playing maybe Orisa, actually. It's easier to survive alone than it is as Rein. Since you have Winston. Don't take the fight against the other tanks since you have Winston. Try and be as passive as possible. Go together with the payload. Don't break your shield when you don't have to break your shield. If the Ashe is on top there together with the Winston, I don't know what other damage they have, but I don't think it's on the lower ground there, and it's probably not that super deadly. So your shield here, you don't need to hold it up, and you should not hold your shield up on top of the payload, unless you have a Bastion sitting on top of the payload, because people can shoot under your shield right now. Try and stand behind the cart, use the cart as natural cover, and be a bit passive since you don't have that much support from another tank.
To go.
Lucio close, Lucio close.
Yeah, swing on the Lucio instead. Okay, Winston went back. That's not too good, actually. He should rather continue to push on the Ashe, but I assume she went over the wall, maybe she fall back. Yeah, you try to look for her. Now you see they have Bastion. Okay, swap off Winston now. You need to swap off Winston, you need to swap off Soldier, and you need to swap off Doomfist. Those three characters are pretty much useless against Bastion. Soldier can work, but I would rather want Mei, Hanzo, Rein Orisa, or Rein Sigma,
They're playing Bastion.
or Sigma Orisa. But I would want a Sigma and a second shield.
Okay, I went to this.
Maybe Sigma Rein. You don't know where the Bastion is. I assume that he is sitting right up here. If he was not late from spawn, I assume that he is sitting here. That means you can push here, but you should watch out for where he is. And again, you already lost one guy, sorry, and your Winston would not be that much help against the Rein Orisa. So basically just be you against two main tanks. That will be hard to win. You should not engage here. You have a good time. Don't waste this time. Fall back. Yep. Bastion was sitting in the choke. I heard that. Fall back. Fall back. Yes, you saw that this fight is... That was a good immortality. Really good. Around the corner and everything. Try and avoid fire strike. And hold up your shield.
That's the main, that's the main. Good Lucio here.
Hold up your shield.
That's the main, that's the main.
Yeah, that's
Good Lucio
fine.
here.
But
Okay, I have D.Va, let's go to Bastion.
Lucio here, nice. Good kill, they can rest. Oh, they're from
I
more
can't
anyways.
wait.
you need to watch out for that Bastion. And so... Oh, D.Va. Okay, so... D.Va is in a weird spot right now. She was meta or viable for the first 3 years of Overwatch. Over 3 years. And then they nerfed her. Nerfed her like crazy. So she was useless. And that was especially... Well, they didn't even nerf her. They nerfed her first, and then Glitch appeared. So she was kind of useless. The defense matrix didn't work most of the time. And then they fixed that, but that was at the same time as they added Sigma. And Sigma was so much better. And he worked well with Orisa and Rein. Orisa was still strong from a power creep earlier. So D.Va was kind of useless against other tanks, really. since the summer, and she still is. So you should rather have something else than the D.Va. But D.Va can work good against the Bastion. She can shoot off all of his shots, and you can push him. But the thing is, here, you need to go through their tanks first. So it doesn't matter if you have something against the Bastion, if you can't take out the tanks which are protecting him. You need to overwhelm the tanks, so the Bastion and the tanks need to fall back. Because there's no way you will be able to pull off a flanking play together with his team. So you rather need to beat them in damage and in sustainability. Junkrat, good. Hanzo, okay, but I would rather want a Mei, but okay. Junkrat, Hanzo, that's fine. And then I would like an Orisa instead of the D.Va. You should tell that to her. Moira, I see that you're swapping to Moira instead of Mercy. That's good. It's more healing. You want Moira Baptiste here. I think that's what you're going to have. You can also have a Luz instead of Moira.
We should come in.
And you should agree. No reason to hold up your shield here. Only you, but again, you should not be pushing him because you already lost him. Those two now. Fall back. Fall back. Okay. Whoa. Your team is trying to do the flanking thing that I just commented about. You swapped to... Oh, I thought you swapped to both Sombra and Tracer. Well, you have Sombra, so you're going to hack the Bastion. That means, or the tanks. If you're going to hack the tanks, the D.Va can still be good to get ready for the Bastion later. But if you're going to hack the Bastion, not so much. But D.Va and Sombra are kind of doing the same thing, so they can work together. But this is very hard to pull off, and I would rather not want this. I would rather you should engage on the rein maybe. Try and ask Sombra to hack the rein and then focus on him. But like D.Va can't do anything against the rein. It's so hard to work together with the team when they are doing stuff like Sombra and D.Va. I would rather just go full brawl and try and beat them in that. And Mei could work great here as well. Try and wall off the Orisa or the rein. But then it's important to remember that you should place the wall around the corner. So, well, if the Bastion is sitting in the corridor here, and your rein went around the corner, he's standing next to the payload. You can wall around the corner here and there. And that means the Bastion can't shoot the wall, and the rein is still blocked off. That's a good way to use the wall when the enemy team has a Bastion. Because usually when the enemy team has a Bastion and try to use your wall, especially in lower ranks, the Bastion will just shoot the wall because the wall is placed poorly. So you need to watch out for where you place the wall. Did you use your first round while that window was up? I think you did. You didn't. Yes, you did.
Our DPS are retarded.
Our DPSs are retarded? No. You have a D.Va and you have a Sombra. That was a wrong pick on the DPS, but he was frustrated but not the tanks making an opening. Sombra can be good. Here it's your other tank's fault that you're not having the engage you need to. Fall back. That's also important actually. Yeah, ults are good. I mean, you should look more out for that, but though that guy is saying you need more ults and not swap, he hasn't been talking about ultimates the entire thing. You should ask him, what ults do you want them? What ults are the one we need to grind for? What ults do we want to clean up the enemy with? Orisa Supercharger is a great ult. Like example, Rein Shatter, it is very good if you shatter the entire enemy team, but that's hard to do. What you can do and always get some value is Orisa Supercharger. Set it around the corner, protect it a little bit the first 2 seconds, and then engage and do a lot of damage. The enemy can't, though they can outplay the damage, they can't really do anything about it being there. They can't remove the damage. They will have to do something against it. It's not just up to one guy to block it. The whole enemy team will have to use cooldowns and get away. You will get free distance on the cart, dropping the supercharger. No matter what, you will get values from their supercharger, as long as they don't like instantly use a Doomfist ultimate or something like that. But they don't even have a Doomfist. You should be going Orisa here, and you should be gaining ults to push them off the payload. You just need 2 team fights, 1 here to win. 2 or 3. Looking for ult is good. You're trying to charge like this is it's good that you're trying to do this, but you have already lost teammates, and I don't think it will make that much of a difference. Yes, and he even spotted me. Like, it's a risky play. You should rather do it when your team is fully rebuilt. And when it's that, it's not gonna work really. It can work, but not worth all the times it fails.
Lucius coming for you.
Try and ask your Summer for what she's going to hack.
30 seconds remaining.
Or call out what she's going to hack. Nice. You're right, the other one is troubling a bit. It's very hard to pull off a shatter against 2 shields. That's what I said again. Shatter here won't get much value usually. Just go orisa. You can shatter here. You could have shattered there. Here you can shatter. You will get who is that behind there? I can't see. But there's a Moira there. It's a Lucio. You could have shattered both the Moira and the Lucio there. The side of them. Shatter here. You see that? 2 supports. That would have been really good. You might think, oh, but they have Lucio. It doesn't matter. You will still disable their healers for so long. If you charge your rein there, you might have won that fight. Charging. Was not super dumb, but again, it's not worth shattering the Bob because he will just get back up. And if you use supercharger before the fight instead, it would have been much easier. And like, I want to talk more about what's to combo and how to communicate and stuff like that, but that's kind of hard when you don't even have the right picks for it, and when you don't really play that much together. You played at the same spots usually as your teammates here on attack, but you didn't go Orisa. I would want you to go Orisa there. Orisa is usually the best tank in the game right now, better than Reinhardt, even though you could have a Reinhardt together with Orisa. Reinhardt or Sigma, often. You need ults though, to clean them off the payload. Orisa ult can be good, and Sigma ult can be good. You need ults that guarantee value, that are harder to stop, that are harder to just completely shut down. Shatter can be completely shut down. Supercharger is much harder to completely shut down, and the less thing you have that can be completely shut down, the bigger chances you are of getting something done. It's kind of cheesy way to play, just having ults that you can't really mess up. But it's the best way to play, especially in lower ranks and in this meta where supercharger and stuff like that is just so strong. And you didn't do any big mistakes. You didn't die like charging alone and like, why aren't you going with me, team? You were not like that. But maybe you should do that more actually. You should have just gone Orisa there on attack to get guaranteed value out of the ult. Again, you are a good player and much above average, and this is definitely I would respect you as a high plat player. You can climb to diamond. You just need to well, if you pick the right heroes even more, you will climb to diamond, that's for sure. Try and always go Orisa, and if you feel like you need more damage, you can always go rein instead. But that's also kind of risky. Well, you always want Orisa, that's the thing. You can swap to rein from something else, but not from Orisa. Because Orisa is always good. Always have Orisa. Always have Orisa, really. I'm sorry that's the case, and not a lot of people likes to play Orisa, but I know you like to play Orisa. So go Orisa, feel free. Abuse this meta as much as you want. Orisa was good for in the past meta, and she's good now as well. Double shield, and this is just it's double shield, except the shields aren't the biggest part of the meta anymore. cooldowns are the biggest part of the meta, and when you don't play around the cooldowns, you don't have the right teammates to do so. You don't play together when you actually have the right teammates to do so. I can't help you that much. But try and go orisa and try and play together with your team. Try and ask for abilities to combo, like halt and everything, really. Just combo halt with everything, and you will win. You can go up to master by just doing that. That's an easy way of get up to master. I went up to master while playing tank. I'm a bad tank. I'm a really bad tank. My tank earlier was no higher than high plat than this gameplay right here. But in this meta, it's so much easier because you can just go orisa and then say to your teammate, "Hi, I have halt. Let's combo. We do it now," and then you will win games.
Moira, what's gold healing?
It's like doesn't matter too much. You're not bad, and well, thank you for sending in this gameplay. It's very nice to watch, and I know it's frustrating to have experiences like this in game because you didn't die and everything really, and it doesn't feel like it's your fault you lost, and it's not. But everyone on your team should play more together and do what's good. You didn't do anything that was bad, really, but you didn't do anything which was good. You need to look out for. You need to know what's good, and I hope you know now. I tried to explain what's good in the second half. In the first half, I talked more about what's just positioning and the rein duel. Here, I talked more about what's good with cooldowns and stuff. And ultimates. I hope you understand more of that and the concept of overtime. If you have anything specific you want me to talk more about, I will of course do that. And if there's any other videos, and if you want me to look into, I would like that as well. Thank you for watching.